UK university. So we are the Pathway College for Swansea University, and we offer pathway programs at undergraduate level. So these include foundation and integrated year one programs. And we also offer pre-masters pathways, which lead into a number of Swansea University's postgraduate programs. And so you can see on the list there that we have got lots of different subjects available for you. And these are really useful if you think that you're not going to quite make the grade for direct entry into the university. All is not lost. We could have a pathway for you. Typically, foundation programs are for students who have perhaps missed the academic entry requirement or perhaps the English language requirement by quite a bit, and perhaps need between a semester and 3 semesters of study to get up to the level required for year one. We also then offer integrated year one programs. So these are for students who have just missed the entry requirement to start with the university, but don't need as much time to get up to that level required for year one. And what the integrated programs do are you still join the first year of the course that you're hoping to take with the university, but you're a student of the college. And so you have additional support classes with our staff to make sure that you're getting up to speed with all of the course content, and it really encourages you to get the best possible start at higher education. So it's probably best to see the integrated year one option as a soft landing into higher education. For pre-masters programs then, these are ideal if perhaps you've had a bit of time out of higher education and need a refresher before starting your master's class, or if you perhaps got a third class degree in your bachelor's and need to upgrade your qualification in order to be accepted into a postgraduate program. Could I just ask, if you are on this call, could you put yourself on mute? Otherwise we get a bit of feedback on the line. Thank you. And so our pre-masters programs will range from a 1 semester up into a 3 semester, again, depending on the amount that you need to improve your grades by. And so why come and study with us? Well, as I said, we are a pathway college for Swansea University. I think a lot of the rankings that I have up on the screen speak for themselves, but just to pull out a couple of the key ones and explain a little bit more what they are. The university last year won the University of the Year What Uni Student Choice Award. So this is an award which is voted for by students and really demonstrates how engaged the student body is and how much they like studying with us. We also then were awarded the TEF Gold Award, and this is the highest possible award for teaching excellence and graduate outcomes framework. So we're really pleased that we were able to achieve that. We're then ranked top in Wales in the Times and Sunday Times Good University Guide, and we're 5th in the UK for career prospects. And I'll be talking a little bit later on about some of the ways that we ensure that you get the most out of your studies and really are prepared for the world of work. In addition to all of that, we're in a beautiful location. So the picture that I have up here is of the college academic building on the Bay campus. It is right next to the beautiful beach, which is, I think, just what we all need at the moment if we've been cooped up inside. It really does offer you space to breathe and clear your head in between classes. Before I move on, I would like to show a short video just to give you, again, an appreciation of where we are and what we have to offer. So fingers crossed this will work. So hopefully that gives you an idea of where we are. So why come to the college, Swansea University? So we have got a 95% progression rate onto the university, and our students are treated like Swansea University students from day one. So you're given a Swansea University ID, an ID card that you can then use for the library, all of the different support facilities, clubs and societies that the university offers. In the college, we give you excellent support. So every single student has a personal tutor, and this is much more than just your standard personal tutor relationship where you maybe meet once a term. This is someone that you really develop a close relationship with, and they will be there to support you not only in your academic endeavours, but making sure that you're settling into university life and that you are exploring the local area and making friends. We then have small class sizes, and so this means that you really do get the attention that you need when you are starting your studies in another country and in a new subject area possibly. We give you a really safe environment to learn and live. So we're a campus-based university. I'll be showing you some pictures of the campus later on, again, so that you get a bit of a feel of what it is to be a Swansea University student. And students of the college have got a dedicated halls of residence, which you are welcome to come and stay in whilst you are studying with us. We also at the moment have online Swansea University English language tests, also called SWELT, and you can book onto these if you have an English language requirement to come and study either with the college or with Swansea University directly. So where in the world is Swansea? Swansea is in South Wales, and like you can see here, we have two campuses. We have Singleton campus and the Bay campus, and these are on either side of the city of Swansea. The city of Swansea is really well connected with the rest of the UK. We have a train station which has a direct train to London Paddington, and we're also about an hour from Cardiff International Airport, which again links you up to the wider world should you need to come and go. This is the Singleton Park campus. So this is the original university campus. And here we have subjects such as medicine, human and health sciences, law, and arts and humanities. And Singleton campus, as you can see, is surrounded by beautiful parkland, has got a sports village towards the top here, which has a national pool and various playing fields, and is right next door to one of the big hospitals in Swansea. The campus then is just a short walk from a beautiful sandy beach here, and again it really gives a lovely environment for students to study in. We then have the Bay campus. So this campus was opened in September 2015 and houses the College of Engineering, the School of Management, and the departments of Mathematics and Computer Science. This is also where the college building is located. So this is the college building here towards the front of the picture. As with Singleton campus, this campus has got sports facilities. So you can see some of the outdoor pitches that we have here. It also then has a range of accommodation options, and we'll go on to those shortly. This campus then has canteens, restaurants, and coffee shops. It has a Tesco and a Santander Bank, laundry facilities, and buses come straight onto campus, which makes it really easy to get from one campus to another and then into the city centre. Also, you will notice that this campus has direct access to the beach, which, as I said previously, makes it really lovely if you need to get some fresh air, get some space, or just be outside. You can do that really easily, and it's within a very safe environment. Both campuses have got 24-hour security, so this again should put your mind at ease if you have any concerns about that. Thinking for a moment about employability. So this is probably your main reason for considering to come and study a higher education degree, to get a job afterwards. And at Swansea University, we do this really well. We want to prepare our students as best we can for the world of work. And we are the UK top 5 for career prospects. Within each of our academic departments, then, we have got dedicated careers support who will help you not only practice interview technique, put together a CV relevant for your industry, but also encourage you to make connections with various employers, both possibly global employers, but also smaller local employers. And so there'll be lots of different schemes running throughout the year to help you make those introductions, ranging from one-on-one talks to larger career fairs, which take place both online and on campus. When you're studying at both the college and Swansea University, you have access to the Swansea Centre for Academic Success, or CAS for short. And this team offers all students a free service to help them with essay writing techniques, critical thinking, ways that they can improve their presentation techniques, and also ideas for how they can improve their performance in exams. Students can either take part in workshops or book in for one-on-one sessions to discuss their needs at a more involved level. Student support then, as I mentioned, every student will have a personal tutor, and we then also have those subject-specific careers teams which will support you throughout your studies here. We then also have an international at campus life team, and this team really is to make sure that you first of all manage to get to the UK successfully and the visa process goes smoothly, but also that once you are here that you feel connected not only with the university community but the wider Swansea community. And so they'll organise things like trips in and around the UK, supper clubs within Swansea, and these all give you really lovely ways of becoming part of that community and making friends. The teams can also then offer you support on money advice. So if this is your first time living without your parents, you might want some tips on how to budget and manage your money. And they can also give you support in regards to well-being and welfare. The city of Swansea itself is a medium-sized city by UK standards. It has a population of around 250,000, and it has everything that you'd expect a city to have. So that would include pubs, clubs, museums, restaurants, art galleries, and of course, places to eat. We are a waterfront city, so this gives you some really, again, lovely opportunities to go out and explore nature, but in a very easy way. We also have Santander cycles, so these are bikes which you can easily rent from either campus and at various spots throughout the city if you wanted to explore a little bit further by bike. Thinking now a bit more about the college itself. So the college has got its own academic building, as we saw on the Bay campus. It has 18 teaching rooms, computer labs, and plenty of space for group and individual study. And I think having this presence on the campus, as I said, it really makes sure that you feel like a Swansea University student from day one. You're already familiar with the surrounding area, you're already familiar with the campus, and you'll feel like part of the community from the very first day. The college students, as I said, have got their own dedicated halls of residence that you're welcome to come and live into. And we have really flexible contracts which will match your course duration. All of our rooms have got an ensuite bathroom and are arranged into flats of around 7 students per flat, where you'll share a kitchen and communal area. You'll then have access to bike storage, a gym, and all of the other campus facilities. And if you're staying in this halls, you've got a choice of maybe a room that has got a lovely sea view or a view of the surrounding hills. Spoilt for choice. So currently we are offering online learning. When we move into September, and I'll talk about this in a couple of slides' time, we will also be offering blended learning. So this really gives you the option to study with us in the way that's going to be suitable for you. So for some students, you might not be able to travel to us at the very start of term, possibly because visa centres aren't open, or because you perhaps don't feel comfortable leaving your home country at this time, that's absolutely fine. You can start your course online. Alternatively, if you are able to travel, we encourage you to do so. You would be coming to us and studying in a blended format. So you would be on campus, there would still be small socially distanced group teaching, but things like the larger group lectures would be done online. We still have social distancing in effect in the UK, so we do need to adhere to those rules, but we are really keen that you still get that campus experience. Here we have some feedback from our current students who've been studying with us online, and they seem to really be enjoying it. We've tried to give as much support as we can. So this includes regular quizzes, newsletters, and also ensuring that all of our students have got access to support staff via weekly drop-in sessions that they're welcome to come along to. So the response to COVID-19, of course, it involves how have we been undertaking our learning, but I thought you might also like to see what the university's been doing to assist this current situation. So our final year medical students joined the National Health Service to provide support. We used our 3D printers in the College of Engineering to produce face visors and shields. And we also repurposed one of our laboratories so that it could produce hand sanitizer, again, for the local services to use. As mentioned on the previous slide, from September, all of our courses will be delivered in a dual way. So you'll have that option of online learning if you can't make it to the UK, and then blended face-to-face teaching if you are able to come over to us. That is everything from me. I realise I've covered quite a lot of different things there, so I'd really like to open things up now for questions. So please do make use of the chat box. I can see that some questions have come up already, and I will try to get through as many of these as I possibly can. Thank you very much. Okay, I have a question about a student who was unable to complete their foundation year. Osama, I'll need to get your details at the end of this call and we can look into this case for you. If you were unable to complete your course due to personal reasons, you will most probably need to go through an appeal process. But if I can get your details at the end of the session, then I'm happy to look into that for you. Does anyone have any other questions? I'd be interested to know what people are interested in studying, or if perhaps you've already made an application to study with us, and if you've got any specific questions that I can help you with today.
While we're waiting for the questions to pour in, Catherine, I was just wondering if you can maybe tell us a little bit about when's the latest the students can apply to study at the college?
Yeah, absolutely. I would always encourage students to try to get your applications in before the end of August. Not so much in because there is a cut-off deadline, but there is quite a bit that you'll need to get ready before you start your studies. So this may include things like accommodation, making sure that you've got everything in place to get your CAS number ready, which you will need when you eventually apply for your visa. That said, our enrolment opens on the 21st of September, and we will have a final enrolment deadline of the 30th of October. So there is still plenty of time, but for your own peace of mind, I would encourage students to apply before the end of August. You don't have to have your final exam results in order to make an application. So don't let anything like that hold you back.
Hi, Catherine, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Hi, Catherine. Sorry, I think we lost you there for a split second.
Oh,
Can you hear us now?
yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, perfect.
I'd be interested to know, where are some of our webinar participants from in the world? And is there anything specific that I can help you with today?
If you're a student and you're listening in, you're most welcome to kind of put in your questions in the chat box, just like Osama did. Or if you can just let us know where you're from, what subject area you're interested in, it'll just give us a little bit of insight into what we should probably focus on today. Catherine, while we're waiting, I had another question actually, because the topic of the presentation was about pathway to Swansea University. I was just wondering kind of what's the collaboration between the two institutes, like how involved are the students from the college with the students at the university?
Yeah, so we are a Navitas Pathway College. So we've had a relationship with Swansea University for 10 years now. In 2018, we formed a joint venture, which really made the relationship that much closer. So it saw the launch of the new building on the Bay campus. And it also meant that students became so much more part of the university. So now all of our students, when they join us, as I said, they've got a Swansea University ID, a Swansea University email address. They, look and feel like a Swansea University student, but they just commence their studies with us so that they have that soft landing. But in terms of student experience, there really isn't any difference.
I'm just imagining, like, in terms of like a welcome week, this week is probably not going to be consistent with what students have seen in previous years. So what kind of activities is Swansea, the college, doing this year to kind of still make sure that students get some sort of a welcome into the institution?
Absolutely. We'll probably be doing a mixture of things. So using our June intake as an example, we had to do all of our welcome and orientation online. And this really meant that we had to slightly think out of the box in terms of what we were doing. So we had lots of different sessions for students to join in, involved with our students' union so that they could find out more about that. Get introductions to new societies as well. So again, they can start making connections with the wider Swansea University community. We also had sessions which involved health and fitness. So we're all spending a bit more time in front of our computers at the moment. So giving people ideas on how you can stretch your body and make sure that your spine doesn't get bent being hunched over a laptop. As well as other things like biodiversity. So, if you do manage to get out for a walk, what are some of the things that you can look out for, and how can you maybe appreciate nature a bit more? So we'll be looking to do something which is online, so that again we can involve students who might be starting their studies online, but then there will also be a smaller group activities so that you still get that personal touch. So we really will be looking to do a variety of things which will sort of fit the needs of those who are studying with us online, but also make those who can come to the UK feel like part of the college.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think we're all getting a bit creative in how we do these things this year.
Yes.
As soon as you said about the posture and kind of the exercise, I found myself like subconsciously already like sitting up. So I'm sure like students as well who've been doing this probably all of summer, some of them are probably working part-time jobs, have been in the same situation. So yeah, definitely
Yeah.
something worth to look out for. We actually have a question from Goldie
Hi,
in the
Goldie.
chat box. So yeah.
Yeah, so Goldie, you've asked about business and finance courses. Absolutely. So we've got two different pathways available. You can either go onto a business pathway, or you can go on to one of the accounting and finance pathways, depending on what it is that you want to do at the end. And there is a degree of flexibility between those programs there. So both of those options have got either a foundation entry point or a year one entry point, depending on what your grades are from St. Olave's. And you can then go on to a whole range of bachelor's degree programs at Swansea University. So this includes their BSc Business Management program, which then has different specializations in things like marketing, human resources, entrepreneurship, operations, you name it, they've probably got a pathway in it. Or if you know from the off that actually you want to do something that's a little bit more finance focused, you can go on to one of the either accounting and finance programs or pure finance business management courses. What I would say, particularly with these subject areas, is that you have got a lot of flexibility. So even as you move into year one of your degree program, if you start and you think, oh my goodness, this really isn't what I expected it to be, or there's just so much more maths than I was expecting, you do then have the option to switch to another specialisation. So don't feel that anything that you choose in that particular subject area is set in stone. We've had another query come in about, do we have any courses which are related to international trade? Within the university itself, they do have LLM programs. So this is a master's program in law, which deals with international shipping and trade. We don't currently have any pathway programs to that. Failing that, then there would be programs in business management, which would perhaps look at operations and supply chain management. And we do have pathways for that particular course. It might be, Moshrik, that if you wanted to send me an email with any sort of specifics that you're really looking for, or particular course content that you really want to cover, if you send that to me, I can advise a little bit better as to what might be suitable, as I think there probably is something for you, but I want to make sure that we've explored all avenues.
Catherine, I was going to ask a little bit about, so let's say the student has kind of enrolled into the college, has kind of come to the end of their studies. What kind of support do they get towards the end of their studies to kind of determine what's the next steps and what moves and how they should be preparing for entry into university?
Yeah, so as mentioned previously, there isn't really anything that the student needs to do because they already have all of the access to everything that a Swansea University student needs. So there's no change in terms of libraries, email addresses, anything like that. So the sort of technical transition is very straightforward. In terms of settling into a new department, this will be different for each student depending on the pathway that they've done. So, for example, if a student has done something like a foundation program with us, up until that point, they will have had limited contact with the department that they're progressing into, because they will have been taught 100% within the college. But what we do try to set up is like mini induction sessions with the department that they'll be transitioning into, so that they do have that opportunity to meet new members of staff, both academic and support, before they make that change into their new department and level of study. If, on the other hand, a student's been doing an integrated programme, so perhaps an integrated year one in computer science, they will have already been studying with that department in question, but they will have been coming to us for additional support classes. So the transition is very, very easy because they already are part of the department. They've already been taking the lectures with that department, and they've already got friends on similar courses. So we try to make it as smooth as possible. But again, we're always looking for ways to improve. So if anybody is thinking, oh, I'm really not sure what to do next, all you need to do is ask, and we will put things on for you. And again, make sure that that transition is nice and smooth. So we've had a question come in about the 2020 intake. Is the 2020 intake open for international students? The embassy is still closed in my country. So Salim, thank you for your question. So yes, we will be offering both online and face-to-face intakes for students in September. So by the sounds of it, you probably will be looking at an online start, as you won't be able to apply for a visa. But that really shouldn't stop you in your aspirations to come and study with us. Had another question in from Adia. Sorry if you've already covered this, no problems at all. But do you offer an integrated foundation course with one CAS, or is it separate? So this will depend on the level of foundation that you need. For example, if you need a 1 or 2 semester foundation, which is on the same NQF level that's needed for the visa, you'll have one CAS. For some students, if you need a slightly lower NQF level visa, perhaps because the level of English that you're coming onto the foundation is quite a bit lower than standard, then you would need to have a separate CAS. So that's a bit of a fluffy answer. It depends. There is the option of having that one CAS which covers everything, but we would probably need to have a look at which foundation program is most suitable for you. So Adia, if you want to drop me a message after this, again, we can look into your case on an individual basis and I can advise. I'm just going to pop my email address into the chat box so that if you do have any specific questions that you want to ask, then you can do that once the session has finished. Had another question from Salim. Thank you, Salim. Do we still have to pay the same fee for online? So yes, the fees for online and face-to-face learning are the same. It's the same content that you're going to be learning. It's the same exit qualification which you'll be ending up with, and we're striving to have the quality the same across different delivery modes. So yes, the fees are the same. As I mentioned before, whilst a lot of students will be starting online, we are encouraging people to come face-to-face as soon as you are able to do so. Not only because obviously we want to have you here, but your experience will be that much richer, and you know, you want to experience everything that university offers, not just the teaching, but the location, being in the UK. But yes, the fees are the same.
Brilliant. Thanks for dropping your email address on there, Catherine. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, yeah, please feel free to email Catherine directly, or you can contact SI UK as well, and we'll just kind of take care of your application and pass it on to the college.
Okay, Salim, no, you're not being a pain at all. Questions are definitely good. Are there any scholarships still available? At the college, we're not offering any scholarships at the moment, I'm sorry to say. The only thing that we do have available are sibling bursaries. So if you have had a brother or sister come and study at one of the Navitas colleges, you can get a small bursary off tuition fees. But other than that, we don't have any scholarships at the moment.
Thanks for answering that, Catherine. I was just wondering if you can tell us a little bit more about the Bay campus and the student life and things like that, assuming that students are slowly going to transition into coming back onto campus in due course.
Yeah, absolutely. Students on both of our campuses are supported by the Students' Union and also different sports clubs and societies. So really, if you have any kind of interests, there will be a group of students who share your interests. So there are lots of different ways that you can get involved there. In addition, then, the actual city of Swansea is a very friendly and open city. So there are lots of opportunities to get involved with things outside of university life, be that in volunteering, part-time work, or just taking part in any sort of clubs and activities. So one of the things that is really, really popular in Swansea, as you might expect, is everything and anything which is related to being by the sea. So you've got lots of different walking clubs, you've got lots of different restaurants which are linked to seafood and sort of fresh produce. So there's really lots of opportunities to kind of get involved with things like that. In terms of the student experience then, as we are a campus university, you've got that very safe environment. So you needn't worry when you're walking around campuses to sort of have any concerns there. We then have a really good student nightlife. So there are different student nights available within the city centre. And one of the first things that you'll probably do when you arrive in Swansea is to get a student discount card. So this means that you can get discounts on nights out, clothing at selected stores, and also meals. We then, as I said, have our International at Student Life team. So this is a university team which is really set up to make sure that you feel like part of it. They run monthly supper clubs. So this, you sign up each month. A ticket costs £10 and you go to a different restaurant in the city centre and get a 3-course meal and drink included in the price of that. And this is a really lovely way of meeting not only other international students, but also members of staff who want to come along and meet you as well.
Catherine, the one question I was going to ask, since we've got a couple of students from the EU as well interested, is what's kind of the regulations for surrounding EU funding? Because I know that's going to be valid for this coming intake. But is there any kind of like fee reduction and things like that for them going forward?
As far as I'm aware, there isn't going to be a fee reduction. To be honest, I think universities are each individually having a look at this. The news only broke very, very recently, but at the moment, as you said, yes, we've got one more year of EU students being able to access home fees, but unfortunately, as the UK is now no longer a member of the EU, it's not something that we're able to continue. It's a real shame.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Get
so
in
when
now.
when you say 1 year, kind of what intakes does that cover?
My understanding is that this will cover the September intake only.
Okay.
So this would be direct with Swansea University. Unfortunately, at the college, we can't accept EU students.
Okay. For any students listening in, we're still going to be taking questions for the next few minutes. Yeah, so feel free to kind of put them in the chat box, or even if you just want to let us know any subject area that you're interested in studying, then we can probably provide a little bit more information. Is there any particular kind of subject area that you would say is more popular with international students, Catherine?
Oh, that's a really good question. We tend to get a lot of interest in our various engineering courses. So the College of Engineering at Swansea University has all of its courses ranked in the top 15 in the UK. And I think in addition to that, the fact that the facilities for engineering were newly built in 2015 means that everything is really built for purpose, and they've got, you know, industry standard facilities and equipment. They also then have excellent links with industry, so they've got some really strong links with companies like Airbus and Tata Steel. And like I said, I think because the facilities are so good, you will be used to using industry grade technology, which really prepares you then for that next step in the world of work. We're also one of the few universities in the UK to offer aerospace engineering and also chemical engineering. So these are not as common in the UK, but make it a really popular choice for those students who are looking for them.
Yeah, no, that definitely resonated kind of with the inquiries that we see in from international students as well. So thanks for answering that question. I just want to say to any students, if you do wish to kind of come on microphone or video and speak with Catherine, you're most welcome to do that. So just drop me a message in the chat box and we'll kind of unmute you. We'll have you on video so you can directly ask the college any questions that you have today.
So we've had a question about, is MBBS progression possible through your biochemistry program? So this is related to, would it be possible to do our graduate entry medicine program? So the short answer is yes. You would need to ensure that you choose the medical biochemistry pathway. So medical biochemistry is one of the courses which will then lead on to the graduate entry medicine program. So just to be aware that at Swansea University, the medical program that we have is graduate entry. So this means that you'd need to complete a bachelor's program first before being considered for the graduate entry program. And this is an accelerated program. As I said, it is possible. It is a competitive program to get onto. But those students who, again, take the pathway to medicine would be guaranteed an interview as long as they have satisfied minimum grades in key modules. I hope that helps.
We are going to be winding down soon, so I was just wondering if you had any kind of like final USPs or anything you think you want to say to students as to why. I mean, we know why the college is great, but just to kind of remind all of the students who are here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd say in a nutshell, if you are looking to study at a top 30 UK university, but your entry requirements don't quite make the grade, have a look at the college. We've got, as I said, a range of pathways at foundation, integrated year one and pre-masters level, and we'll give you that really supportive environment in which you can obtain your ambitions.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've had alumni from the college as well come back and give us a similar sort of feedback. So yeah, definitely would like to reiterate what Catherine said. It's a good experience. You're very much integrated as part of the institution. It just gives you that base if you're not quite ready to go into university yet. Just a note to say that this session has been live streamed on YouTube, so there will be a video link which I will post in the chat box. So if you want to go back and look at especially some of the presentation slides that Catherine did at the beginning, that's there for your record and reference. You're most welcome to kind of look at that again.
Oh, I've just seen that there's a follow-up question to that medicine query. So yes, one of the things that you will need to do to be considered for graduate entry medicine is to either take the GAMSAT or the MCAT examination. So this is one of the things that they look at when they're looking at applicants.
Okay, brilliant. So I think we might just, if that's okay, Catherine, we might just kind of start winding down the session for today. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. That was a really helpful presentation. And yeah, like I said to the students, it is on YouTube, so you can go back and relook at some of the stuff that we had today. But any questions, please feel free to email Catherine, or there is, I'm just going to put a generic email address in the chat box as well. So if you're not quite sure who to contact, you can contact Catherine or the info@studyin-uk.com email address, and we'll support you with your application.
Brilliant, excellent. Thank you ever so much.
Any final words? Yeah, it was good to see you as well. And yeah, thank you to all the students who kind of took an hour out of their day to be here with us today. Wish all of you a rest, if wherever you are in the world, wish you a good rest of the day and evening, and we'll speak to you soon.
Okay, thank you very much all.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thanks, Catherine.